很棒哦！好，接着套币来踏进，来准备加上手。再个新手，阿美姐。开合。到洒满阳光的地方，炙热的沙滩让加油加油，动起来动起来，画圈。你会在我身边轻轻唱那首我最爱的风浪，还有哦，那模样让我感觉你会发光。准备拍手，向前走2步，来，退后2步，啊，跳起来，继续拍手，跳起来，跳起来，院长跳起来，哈哈哈哈。各位线上的家人，大家好！我们非常感恩每个礼拜3台湾早上时间9点到12点哦，欢迎大家，无论您现在在哪里，都愿跟我们连线在一起。透过经济
Hello everyone on the line. A very good afternoon or good morning to all of you. So no matter where you are, we are connected together at this moment. Besides the Tzu Chi Kaohsiung Facebook online, we also through various channels. Let's put our palm together. Let's pay our respect to Buddha and Master Ching Yen. One bow, second bow, third bow. So let's read this together. Let's raise our right hand and read together. So if you are able to follow. So basically, this verse mentioned that we'll continue to study online together and, work hard, follow the Dharma path and close to Dharma's path. So this is from our main Tzu Chi. We are, these are the words that given to us. For our online study group, we would like to continue spread the Dharma and also nurture new talent to help us, continue push this forward. So everyone, grateful for you guys to join us today. 18 lines, Facebook and also Instagram connected today. That we are all Dharma spreader. We should share Dharma with a lot of people. So according to masters, the real talent, the real talent volunteers who should be a humble person, and we should always continue to cultivate our internal values and also wisdom. When we carry on our responsibility, we are always very, very attentive, as well as, always hold on the main principle, not looking at the main directions and, walk the path along with the rest of the bodhisattvas to achieve master's expectation on us. So let's put our palm in our heart and tell Master Chen Yan that, we will work very hard and we will continue to do our part and follow the Buddha Sattva path and, spread the Dharma and help the needies.
上人做一天，我们老师攻读一天，而这是我们努力的方向。大家一起来，相互激励，说慈济，相约文法新主题，相信自己有潜力，永葆初心，正心静养，正心静。读书会一开始我就写下这个方向，然后
We will encourage each other to continue talking about Tzu share Tzu and then listen to Dharma, and also continue to work hard to cultivate ourselves and maintain our very pure mind that we initially vow to become a volunteer. Master said, Tzu is actually originated from Taiwan, but there's a lot of people who do not really understand us. So it's because we haven't really spent a lot of moment and time to really indeed share what we have done in Tzu with other people. So we should seize every opportunity that we have, try to share the good things, share the good words, as well as the Dharma, so that the Dharma can continue to impact everyone's life on a daily basis.
其实我们有非常感恩，就是在4月25这一天，上人呢跟我们在视讯，然后在云端的时候，就突然给我们这样子的一个甜蜜的祝福。这个祝福就是希望说，我们希望能加入更多国家、更多的语言，希望能。
Let's review, our translation team that we established for this online study group. So back in 2020, April 2025, so that Master blesses and think that since the online study group has been doing really well, we should expand and involve more other languages so that a lot more people can join us and listen to all the good things that they're sharing. Today it's the 5th week of the month, and we have the 5th group. It's from Brother PJ, Sister Lisan, Brother Hong Kai, and also Brother Liang. So back in April, when Master asked me whether we can start a different language translation, I just went ahead and said yes, we can do it. So Brother PJ immediately stepped up and said that, okay, do not worry, we are always at the back to support you. Whatever you need, we'll do our best to support.
准备好了，而且他拍照，准备好了，就说，而且我手机已经怎么样，准备就是同时充电，因为好像有一次在翻译的时候忘了充电，然后就突然间没电。
Brother Hong Kai is very, very serious about this responsibility. And this morning, he posted a picture and shared with us that he's ready, because from the last experience, he gets all the equipment ready, making sure that his laptop and also cell phones are powered with enough battery to fulfill the responsibility of translation to them, or interpretation to them.
真的很重要。上个礼拜有204则的留言，38次的转分享，我们要热烈掌声感恩大陆的家人，大陆的家人。每一次上线都是最踊跃，也感恩。
There's a lot of feedback after each online study that we have. Last week we had 204 messages, and then everyone, your feedback is extremely important to us, and we really appreciate your support.
感恩与感动高雄读书会长久以来如此用心经营全球法亲家人，每周3可以在线上等距离。
So these are all the feedbacks from all the attendees from last week.
同时间呢，我们看到的是我们的三林，他是说舟山高雄读书应该是所有人的期待，线上共修，吸
So
收
some
各
of the
国资
feedback
源，
mentioned that every week
我们
get
会邀
to
约各个
connect
国家的上来
together
哈。
via this
那
channel,
在这里的妈妈 Avery 呢，她是我们的
kind
小
of
龙的非常
equip
的
her
really
with positive energies.
inspiring sharings from the Kaohsiung online book study. All topics are very
Avery from
谢谢您。对于
Kuala
每
Lumpur,
一个单元的
Malaysia,
时候，他都觉得非常好，而且觉得我昨天我
also shared with
会
us.
讲 fashion 所以应该是跟我上一次把这个我们的智慧珠戴在手上，所以我今天还是
So everything said, every sections through the entire 3 hours are extremely beneficial.
加拿大 Emily 郭他说学校最美的风景是孩子脸上的笑颜和教育工作者的无私付出哈，所以他非常感恩印尼这个部分。而日本的岸也会说，印尼大爱学校的赞叹，那是大家由慈善爱心一路走来的一个结果哈。那我们看到云林团队的导读哈，在这边。
So these are some of the text feedback from the Indonesia volunteers. And this is feedback from China Yunli. Oh no, it's actually from Taiwan Yunli, who wait on.
虽然身无法同台，但心与你们同在，非常爱你们。而我们高雄九如师兄他也是做监狱这一个关怀，所以感恩云林监狱关怀团队点一盏灯，让迷途的人回家。
So these are all the positive feedback to the group Yunling last week who shared, who helped those people who are in the prison, found their new life directions. And this part is with regards to the business entrepreneur last week from Shanghai. And during Dr. Hall sharing last week too, also received a lot of positive feedback. So Dr. Hall not only, very, very good in his profession, but he's also extremely compassionate and do a lot of volunteer services.
Michael， 谢谢你哈。加拿大的家人非常的感恩，加拿大的家人月里，谢谢你哦。那加拿大的
This is Li Yun and Li Jen from Malaysia's family, this is from Canada's volunteers.
那这边美国家人非常感恩 Lian， 谢谢您。那这边日本岸研会，还有呢其他家人哈，在甚至呢您在。
These are from USA volunteers, and we also have feedback from Japan and Taiwan. And so even, if you listen to this, please forward the link of today's sessions. Hopefully more people can join us today.
Spotlight 一个 Telegram 加上7个微信群，超过9000人可以收到了哈，非常感恩。那我们的外语平台，如果您是在外语，还有你的好朋友
Though I can't read every feedback from everyone, but I have already prepared the material. We'll pass it on after the sessions, and hopefully, everyone can take a look. And we also have a lot of feedback from the YouTube participants.
Angeline 你就说哈，Angeline 说 truly touching to see the image students sincerely repentance and expressing their gratitude to parents and family members。就是走进监狱以后呢，他们发现呢，这一些在里面的一个家人呢，得到我们慈济的一个法的一个浸润，他是发自内心的一个忏悔，而且对他们的家人呢，就是表达那样子的一个感恩跟忏悔哈。
So once a volunteer after they went into prison, they have had the opportunity to share good deeds, good Tzu Chi events with the inmates, and that actually changed their life, and it's extremely impressive.
9月16号来的这2位呢，家人他们呢，就是最近大家有看到大爱网络电台真心看世界的时候，上人开示之后，都有他们的一个分享。那非常感恩我们跟大爱网络电台有这样的一个。
So these are the two presenters last week who actually wrote these articles to kind of share that how touched they are, and also what's the positive energy they experienced during this online study.
我每一次都要来念他的一个天哈，因为他来了以后呢，然后呢就是用6度万行来形容我们。那上一次讲到布施，这一次我来说持戒。他说他观察我们团队有关于持戒的部分，他说200多人的工作团队各就各位，依 SOP 标准作业程序来运作，如戒律般的运作。不论是直播团队、口译团队、各功能团队，都很有纪律的运作。
So Brother Kao, every time he came here, he will kind of mention that we use the 6 parameters to run our study group. We talk about precepts, talk about how to serve, and talked about how we actually work very hard to kind of spread the Dharma. And this is Sister Guan from Canada. When they share with Master, also makes Master feels very, very relieved that we have such a forum for us to share Dharma together. Let's welcome Sister Ding Xue-Yi, who's going to share the 2020 Spring Master Diaries. So today we are going to share, how our compassion helps us help the people who are in need. In 1969, Master actually led volunteers to help the people who are in need. So we are going to talk about the first relief that led by Master in 1969 during the Mid-Autumn festival period. So let's take a look at in 1969, on the night of Mid-Autumn Day. So during that festival, it's a huge typhoon in Taitung, and the entire villages, 148 houses were burned, 47 people dead. So the fire was led by one of the villagers who was cooking and, accidentally kind of triggered the fire that burned the wooden house. So every year during the Mid-Autumn Mooncake Festival, Master will go back to Taichung to spend the time with Master's mother. So when Master heard about this event, this is what Master's first reaction. Let's take a look at the video. So Master said, the first thing that came into mind is, if I can fly, I'll fly back immediately. But however, there's no direct flight there, and then Master took the long route, from bus to train, from train to bus, and because of the disaster, some of the services were not in place or were stopped. But she found her way, just wanted to go back to Guoliang at the very first moment. And she kind of like called out all the volunteers and let's go help this disaster and do a disaster relief. A lot of volunteers during then tell Master that we don't have money. How can we help? Master said, even though we don't have money, we will try to find a way to help. As long as we have confidence, we can all have the same mind that we wanted to help, we will be able to do something. So Master at that moment, at that time, even though the road are blocked everywhere, if I have an opportunity to fly back, I'll fly back, This shows how desperate Master is to reach the disaster area to see what she can do. So that led to the very first huge disaster relief that Tzu Chi held. So during then, let's see how this was being carried out. So this disaster has led to 140 plus families who went homeless. So this is the very huge, the very first disaster relief effort. And at that time, Tzu Chi Gongdehe was only formed 3 years. So at that time, it's pretty challenging for Tzu Chi. However, Tzu Chi ensured that every family will receive a kind of blanket. It's called Tai Li blanket, which is pretty high quality during then. So, and every family, they will give them $5,000. So Tzu Chi was 3 years old then, there's no money and there's no volunteers. Not only then, during then the Mooncake Festivals was pretty close to the anniversary, the national days of Taiwan, so there are a lot of restrictions. But Master led the volunteers, overcome all the challenges and completed this huge first disaster relief to help the fire victims. Wow, 50 years ago, we already distributed very high quality blankets. So according to Master, once if we, started with a good thoughts, good mindset, will lead to good outcome. So this is about this couple. Back in Tzu Chi 30th anniversary, they went back to Guoliang to send back this blanket, a very high quality blanket to Master. So according to Mr. Sun, one blanket they used to cover 7 people, so everyone was laying out like a little doggy sleeping together. So according to him, so those times already implanted in him a very deep gratitude. So 20 years after the disaster, when volunteer visited him, volunteer saw this blanket and heard the story from Mr. Sen. And Mrs. Sen, the volunteer made arrangement for them to go back to Guoliang to send it back to Master Chen Yan. Not only then, he also make his donation, wanting to make sure his love is also paid for it to other people who need the help. So not only it captured the very warm story during the disaster relief, it's also captured the very, very precious love that Master, the compassion and love that Master wanted to lead the volunteers to kind of serve the victims of the fire. So this is another volunteer who also, was inspired during that victims. So we actually use the blanket from Tzu Chi and grew up with it. So, our affinity with Tzu Chi were connected during then. So the kind seed implanted in her during then. So she never stopped remembering that and vowed to continue to spread the kindness to other people. So she also had a chance to continue to see Master and actually continue the vow she wanted to continue. And tomorrow will be our Mooncakes Festival, Mid-Autumn Festival or Mooncakes Festival. So it's amazing that today, we're looking back at what happened during 1969. So hopefully, these beautiful stories can continue to remind us and inspire us to continue cultivate our compassion and also our wisdom to help the people who are suffering and inspire them to join us to spread their love to other people as well. So wish everyone a very good Mid-Autumn festivals and happy Mooncake festivals. Xue is very, very good presenters. She controlled her time really well. She immediately wrap up and finish what she needed to do on time. And next, we are going to call out to Penang, Malaysia. We're going to call volunteers in Penang. So let's first look at this view during Teacher Day. So Malaysia, Penang, Tzu Chi did really well in the education area. So she's the director of education mission, and according to what she said, we should, as a teacher, we should continue to set a very good role model and lead the student towards the compassionate and serving others people path. So during the 25th anniversary So the whole team, education team from Malaysia, they went back to Hualien to kind of report on what they've done to Master.
但实际上呢，我们可以看到了哈，这其实是在他们整个回来台湾的时候，那这个画面上呢，其实非常巧，跟着是我们高雄的一个团队在进行互动，而画面上这个陈莲凤师姐也是位老师，就是他们呢。
So this is when they came back to Hualien, they have a collaboration or discussion with the Kaohsiung education team. So as long as we spend our time on events that's valuable, making precious value, I think no matter how we overcome the problem of time shortage. I'm the full-time staff, but at the same time, I'm also a dedicated volunteers. I can dedicate, my entire time, into the area of education and helping. So this year, during Master's birthday, this is how the entire team of education, this is how through Zoom sessions, they wish Master happy birthday. You can tell, every windows with students and families, they sing the song together. These are from the kindergarteners, and this is from another kindergarten. So the education mission in Penang also incorporated the humanity value. This is the Sutra of Profound Gratitude performance. So they involve the students from the Tzu school, kindergarten, including kindergartens, involved in the performance. And also this is the culture, in which a marriage ceremony, Okay. So in the 3rd month of pregnancy, the embryo, all the mom to be filled with joy. The gratitude a child owes his mother is immeasurable. How can a child bear to cause her anguish? This is extremely impressive because, the Sutra of Profound Gratitude, they're entirely leveraging the kids to kind of understanding the value of the Sutra and also perform it out so that, it kind of make them really walking into the Sutra. I have to take blood every day, making mommy and daddy distressed and worried. The children of the world should repent with remorse. They must cultivate their character and uphold the 10 precepts. Being so guilty, how can they repay their kindness? Filled with shame, they will choke with sobs. All as all listen to the Buddha's word, even if they die tortuously. Filial piety and good deeds should not be. All Tzu volunteers should be pretty familiar with the Sutra of Profound Gratitude, but it's kind of never came across our mind. The entire graduation ceremony of the Tzu school kids, they are actually performing out the sutra. So now we are going to call out to Sister Tzu Qian. We like to be with you because you have positive energy. Let's welcome Sister Tzu Qian.
同时，我们已经分享简报给你了，有分享简报给是，好，没关系，
好看到吗？
对，可以了。那请你用大荧幕哦，那个慈谦
是，
对，
好，
可以了。
亲爱的上人，我们金色的师父，全球法心家人，大家好，好，明老师，还有我们高雄的读书会的团队，给予我这个机会呢。
Master in Jingsi Body and other volunteers. Today I'm going to represent Malaysia, Tzu Malaysia, to share our education missions. So this is Buddha statues in our Penang Education Center. It just shows that we should. So the present that we give the graduation students is this performance of the Sutra of Profound Gratitude. So these are the different parts of the sutra. So each script and the Dharma performance is actually, the stage performance actually involve the real stories of each kids. So they get to understand more how, before they were born, how they bring different experiences to their parents. So, from 10 months pregnancy to all the checkups or during the labor, before the performance, we also conducted the class for them to actually experience how. We also have the kids, wash the parents' legs and express their love to the parents. And during the birthday, we celebrate with them, making sure that it's a day of paying gratitude to their parents. Of course, this, why we, plan our education classes this way was because back to 1998, when we went back to Hualien, and then when we report to masters, some of the during that time we have like a preschool at that time, and during that time, masters, tell us that we should always, remember the a very pure, compassionate, and happy heart. We should maintain that and continue down the path for the entire education missions. As long as we have love in our heart, it will guide us along the path. So this is our very first uniform of Ciji Elementary School. Oh, these are actually Hualien's elementary school's uniform, but we use it for our kindergarteners during that time. And this sister from Taiwan also give us an opportunity to visit Master Chen Yan's mom to kind of hear some of their education experience. So, they really give us share a lot of their experiences and, guidance and support with us. So in 1989, our very first seed, Ye Sigu, she actually in Malaysia started Ciji in Malaysia, Penang. So from 1993 is charity, 2000 it's humanity, 1997 it's medical, and in 2001 we started education mission. So until today we are 19 years old. So after 2001, we started kindergarten from 4 to 6, and like 2004, we started like public social class. And 2018, we started our education center. In 2021, we are going to start the Hope Education Mission. Although we cannot have a formal education school in Penang yet, however, we do have this different kindergarten classes. In 2012, we brought the kindergarten students back to Hualien to see Master Chen Yan. And last year, 2019, we also brought another group back to visit masters. Give them an opportunity to kind of make a vow to master directly that they will continue to be in the Ciji path, become volunteers. So these are 2001 first batch students who graduated, who are now also contributed back as volunteers. So these are all our students, who continue to be a volunteer. Oh, 2002, Principal Yang from Taiwan actually went there, and she continued to follow the path of the students she met there. So 2015, we also have a meeting with the Kaohsiung kindergarten team and we did a lot of sharings and learn from each
跟
other.
我们高雄的家人还有线上的所有家人分享感恩。
一定有机会的哈。同时，之前请你把你的简报的共享平台先拿掉，但是您在画面上，我们想 take 你整个画面。哎，对，现在您看清楚它了。刚刚跟我们分享的就是马来西亚教育置业主任陈时坚哈，我们真的非常非常的一个感恩跟感动哈。那同时间呢，无论是短时间，但是我们知道他们永远讲。
So this is Sister Chen Siqian from Malaysia's education mission. She's the director there. A very, very solid content, with a limited time, it's all because they actually did everything very, very attentively and paying a lot of dedication. So the world's round, even though during this pandemic, we can also be connected through technology. Thank you so much, Sister Siqian. 异乡游子被思亲，读书文法长会命，千里参军绝友情，非常感恩哦。那同时间呢，这边是 Lily Cole 女士在马来西亚的霹雳安顺哈，她说问候大家早安，包括上人哈，泰国的辞官秋玉。So there are a lot of feedback from in the Canada and the Malaysia. So welcome everyone to write down your feedback. So let us know. And the sharing to those the people who are sharing is very important to know your feedback. So Malaysia say hello to everyone. Yeah, a lot of positive energies in the study group. 大家好，这是新山的绿云，问候大家。北加的爱珠师姐也是我们的英文口语。这是新山绿云。你可以用英文在。And North California 爱珠 sisters。在这边呢，云林的张景惠，谢谢感恩，谢谢您在云林上线。好，来自So Yunlin also have a sister online. 卫东。So Guangzhou, China have a volunteer listen to this study group too. 是我们的一个座右铭哈。那并且说，1969年大南村的一个大火，全村烧毁，上人用接驳的方式赶回花莲，没有钱也要。So in 1969, the big fire, our master even don't have the money or people, we still try our best to get there. Yeah, so the feedback is really real time. 家人已经在环保站等候上线，非常感恩哦。那我们持续哈的。重庆。Volunteers in the environmental protection station. They're also online. The Singapore Dr. Dan. Yeah, give his feedback and appreciation about this real-time sharing. Hi, hello from North California. 北加州同时翻译，同时可以在 YT 那个留言哈。那这边呢 ，Jory to USA Translation Team， 好，我们的 Angel Tan 呢，就是跟我们的美国翻译团队来打招呼。这边有一个新朋友，Many Krish，Good morning。So we got a new friend。哪里可以让我们知道哦哈？非常的感恩。那我们等一下再继续再回到。Yeah, so in the YouTube for the translation side, please leave your name and where you come from. Yeah, your feedback is highly appreciated. 我们每一周都有2位自相组的一个嘉宾哈，我们真的非常的感恩哈。那现在我们看到的是，只要这样子出现，然后 So we got a very important guest. 大爱台的主播前来了哈。那这位主播呢？The Daai TV have the anchors will join us. 跟他看待，但是跟我们团队就很有关系哈。我们真的非常感恩。其实我认识思萱的时候，是因为他跟我。So the 思萱 sister
So this the Daai News anchor is a very profound relationship with our group study. So we use online technology to share the Dharma. So musician sisters are very interested to share her experience.
我心里就这样子祝福果真就是你心想事成啊，没有，就是你看多你就知道，无论他口条态度，他就是一个主播的一个人选哈。那我们来看看他当时帮我们做的这一则新闻的部分哈。那
So see 630 experience stories. So talking about the Jing's electronic book. So for senior people, volunteers are how to take the challenge of this new technology. The Sixuan have this news story to share this new technology, use the electronics book to read our master's Dharma. So Sister Lu also go to the disaster relief. Yeah, how to make the list for distribution is very challenging. So Mozambique. So when you visit the outdoors, our reporters will go there international trip to get a news back. And we also promoting the vegetarian meals. So the January 11th, it's the vegetarian day. So you'll get enough nutrition, so everyone should try the vegetarian. So the first time when Sister Li Sixuan first to be the Daai News anchor. To find the previous in the midnight. Right now it's 7 p.m. in Taiwan time. So this all days. Yeah, Sister Lu is talking about the midnight, the TV news, talking about the traffic of the freeway. So let's welcome our Daai anchor, Li Sixuan. So you can see, well, she is very tall and beautiful. So that's why the first time point, yeah, Mr. Meiyun asked, yeah, just predict she will become a very famous anchor. So at this moment, so it's because of this relationship, and we get know each other. So in the 9 News TV program, we saw her doing very well. Yeah, so she's really beautiful. Right, so yes, you saw her TV right away and sent her a text message like Meiyun's brother is really a compliment, like she's doing very well. So let's listen to her story. 所以 the belief is today's topic. To do the reporter for the news, you need to be persistent for those things in the disaster area. So right now, she picked like 4 very famous disaster. It's a Kaohsiung explosion and the airplane crash. And there's the bus accident and the building collapsed due to the earthquake. So first is a party with those powders, colorful powders. So you can see the firefighters, ambulances go to those the area, and there's a lot of people is screaming. Everybody's nervous. So there's an accident in the Kaohsiung theme park. So Kaohsiung theme park have those party and get the powder and get explosion. So the Daai news team will have a reporter go there to do the reporting, and have volunteers that go there to help the victims. So we will call all those different teams to help. So reporter, although they are in a party, but just stop and go there right away. So maybe there's a fire or something, so just get the partners on the way. So they have a video guy and a reporter and a writer. So you see like 2 little girls just arrived, and it's the first reporter arrived at the Daai theme park, the Kaohsiung park. So when they arrived, they see a lot of the big fires and the people that get injuries and waiting for help. So that's the first time we see the ambulance to get into the lines to wait for help people. And there's only one exit, so the ambulances need to get into line very far away. So when you get into the Kaohsiung park, so you see, well, it's really like a hell, Well, you see the injured people, the skin you can see it's being burned, and you see the flesh. It's very scary. So at that moment, you will think, how I should report or really get into them to help them right away. So it's a hard decision. It's just whether you be so. Yeah, volunteers, yeah, 事故 come here to help those people. Yeah, while they are still doing the reporting work. So you need to get what kind of the video thing for me for the news. But in that moment, it's very hard to do the decision, because the victims complain like it's quite painful, suffering. Then Sister, do you think whether I should do the reporting work or just help those victims? So they have a lot of plans. Like this is a major, big disaster. So this will be the most dangerous one. Yeah. So the volunteers use a lot of water tries to cool down the skins that been burned, and talk to them, because you don't let them to get in falling asleep, because maybe they will just pass away. So the volunteers keep talking to the victims, and it's a very hard to talk to them, to the victim, and in the meantime, need to get the scene from the camera, get back to the station for the real-time news. That time there's no time to do the editing of the video, so they try the best to have the real-time reporting and use her smartphone to take the video and use the line or different kind of a software, different app to get back to the TV news. And right now, because a lot of people using the smartphone, so it's hard to get a signal. So they need to walk around and lift up the phones, try to get a signal to communicate to outside. And a lot of people cannot find the daughters or their families, so it's very hard. Their parents come here, try to find their kids, so difficult. Yeah. So Sister Lu also see those nervous parents and get some volunteer to help them. So she think it's very important to let outside world know what's going on in the Baxian theme park. Yeah. The kids, they lose all the smartphones, so lose a communication way to their parents. So a lot of parents will be very nervous and eager to know the situation. So as a reporter, Sister Lu need to get the news, get the things to the outside world. So I think so it's hard to predict. You don't know what you will expect. So for a reporter, yeah, it's very important to focus your belief and your task. You need to do those things, and so a lot of parents can know what's going on there. So the next one is the Fuxing, the airplane crashing. So you can see it's scary. Like in Songshan Airport, the airplane go up and have the engine failure, and they need to go back to the Songshan Airport. You see, it's going right above the freeway. It's very scary, and they get into the river. So at that time, a lot of those areas being evacuated, and the reporters cannot get into that area. But you can see they're still there, and you see those information is so messed up. And we don't know how many injured or dead. So every news media, they have a different number. So for the news team, they believe they need to go to see the firefighter, so they have the most accurate information and how many injured people were being saved outside. So that's very important. So she had the experience to get the accurate data. So the final data still should come from the firefighter team. So the reporter will be there, keep asking and updating the information for the outside people. So sometimes it's very difficult. You cannot just change it. The reporter don't have the right data. Yeah, and why the other media have the data, you don't have the data. But right there, so even the governor or yes, so when there, why you don't have that information? So it's very difficult. So the reporting at front line, the data is all kind of data. Some is fake, some is not right. Yeah, so it's very hard to get accurate data. So in the Daai TV, for the volunteer is the backup for the reporter, because they go there. The first one you will look for the firefighter. The next one will be the 慈济 volunteer. The 慈济 volunteer will be the first one there to help the victims. So what's the situation right now? Yeah. So if you saw the officer might have the good data, then you talk to the volunteers, they will have the accurate data. And you will have those specific data only for Qi, so it's very, very useful. So the number 3 is the freeway. There's the travel bus. Yeah, in the midnight. So the crash is very serious. Yeah, so for the travel agent, so just in the midnight, they just finished the 10 o'clock p.m. news when Mr. Lu come out. So the accident is 9 p.m. And when they go there, they already have a lot of volunteers, and the freeway support is there already. So when you go to the funeral place, you cannot see the news. Yes, a lot of people dead, but you still cannot get the news. And it's very cold. It's in the midnight. So they go to the funeral home and wait there for a long time, but cannot get much news out. So when they arrive there 10:30 p.m., so a lot of news are already get out for different media. And some people already go to the funeral hall. So it's already 11 p.m. So they will ask get different TVs, medias, and get some story. What officer have been here to talk to the victims? And victims have family, and it's very, very sad. But did you have any scene or the video clip that you can share? So it's a very hard when the family feels very sad already, and you still try to get the news out of them. So it's very difficult for the reporter, but also, the audience, they want to know how the families know what's the situation and any a story. But they have a consensus if the family express they don't want to say anything, then the reporter just hold back. So you can see the Daai news rather than just to take the crying video, rather just stay aside and try to comfort people. So for the family, it's a second injury, and put those salt to the injured wounded portion. So it's very hard. And a lot of a TV station just get a lot of people crying, even the kids. So yeah, for or strangers will still feel very sad, very sorry for them. Can I imagine how those families, especially the kids, will feel? So you should not do that. For the Daai news is really, very don't want to do this kind of scary videos. So we'll stand from the position of the family and to understand we don't want to share this kind of the very sad video, and we think about how to comfort them. So this accident is already from the overwork issue for the drivers. So it happens a lot, people need to work time because they don't have enough drivers to get into the schedule. The number 4 is a building really fall down in an earthquake. So it's 2016 February 6th. So when the huge building fall down, a lot of people been buried like in the bottom, so it's hard to dig them out. So you can see that 100 something people dead and 175 people survived. So it's a nice story building. It's a U type and have the commercial and the residency. So they have a lot of days and how you, as a reporter, get there to get the news and the details. And they have a lot of people, volunteers, go there with the rescue dogs, and go there. It's hard to get the news. And at those golden time, it's very difficult to find a survivor. So the reporter, how can you get the news points? So the firefighters talking about how many stories they busy, that they clean up. So the first moment is hard to get the heavy machines to dig those things because those machines could hurt if there's a survivor. So for the reporter, there's another challenging thing is you need to understand that side, what's the important the audience would like to know. So that the major accident, all the firefighters come over the Taiwan. So they also try to interview the firefighters to see their stories. And the rescue dog also will feel exhausted. It's not just that you bring the dogs to the side and then they will do their work. They need to take care of the rescue dogs. And for those the volunteers also have a lot of stories. So that's a very different thing from those Dongsen news or other news. Yeah. So all the firefighters and the volunteers and all the people there is very highly appreciated. Tzu Ji is doing health. And it's very cold, so they have so they need to go to the water. So if Tzu Ji bring the heater, so the firefighters they can really get a hot food and the blanket to take care of the firefighters. So they feel highly appreciated. So those support is very important. When they do load rescuing, it's very exhausting and highly stressed. So if there's another team like Tzu Ji can back up to provide the support, the hot meal, hot drink, and the blanket is very important. So the Tzu Ji give the firefighters a lot of the strength and energy. So besides, for the Daai News, the very special thing is the international disaster relief. So always Tzu Ji go to the most needed for the support. So we're not going to the very famous sightseeing. So we go to the worst case. So they talk about you need to go to the disaster area for 13 days. And it's very difficult. So that when they share the experience, then or other news, the reporters are evident. And even the restaurant is hard to find. So just need to go to the bushes. There's no restrooms. So only animal will see that. No people will pay attention to you. So this like suffering is really comparison to understand. So if in Taiwan you feel very very painful, then you need to go to the Mozambique to see. So you talk about like the clothes or your hair or whatever. So we'll see. So you go to Africa, you try to get those different hair. So it's very hard. You need to have a different quality of the hair or characteristic. You need to how to get that kind of the hair style. So for international, you need to the jet lag is very difficult. So when you go to Mexican, it's a 1 day. So you go to the Mozambique, Africa is like 5 hours. So you need to count what's the Taiwan time and what time. And in Mozambique, you need to transfer the news. Then in Taiwan, you can go to the news at noon. So it's very difficult because in the Africa, the internet Wi-Fi is only 3G at most. So it's hard to get online. So you don't use this. Need to make sure everyone don't use the bandwidth. Only the news team need to transfer the data. So when you talk about the medical team, saying like, oh, right now our Wi-Fi is not good enough. So till the 10 o'clock to 10:30, like the other people should stop using the Wi-Fi. So the Wi-Fi seems very precious at the Africa. And the other thing is the distance. So there's the whole big team go there, the medical or volunteers go to the government officers. So the local government will be very helpful. So when we go there, we will visit them to search for their support. And for the electricity is also another big problem. So we feel very grateful that for the Daai TV, those officers understand the difficulty for the reporters there. So very appreciate. So like this picture is in Africa, Mozambique. So this is, you see some thing or movies in the old time for the black people there, and you need to fight for the meal or distribution resource. Then everyone will just group on and try to take those things. And Sister, do you think that like those the packages of the stationery? So you think the pencils, those pack, and the meals, and help them. So there's a little girl from the school. So they come to the 6:30 and say, get an orange, saying, pet the 6:30, saying, orange for me. Yeah. So she's just take it, but did not think a lot. But my team member saying, oh, the little girl only have one orange. Why you take the orange from her? Then sister think, so we can have a half and half. Each one take half. So they might not have other food or fruit to eat. So the little girl want to share her only one orange to share with the Tzu Chi volunteer or reporters. It's so touching. She doesn't have a lot of things, or even she don't have anything, just this orange. The little girl want to share. It's very touching. So the other is Japanese, the Japanese earthquake, Shongben. Well, Japanese is a very cautious people. They don't want to bother people to help them. But at that time, the earthquake is really serious. So they just evacuate and stay in the gym shelter. So that lady is working from the restaurant before. So see the Tzu Chi volunteers go there to prepare the hot food. So yeah, so that lady bring like a Shongben bear as a gift. Think that that's presenting our Shongben, the city. thank you a lot for you just came from Taiwan long time ago. So Japanese like the Taiwan people very well. They think really they're very close friends. So there are a lot of touching stories. So this one is for Mexican. When the American team go to the Mexico for the earthquake relief, they also ask Sister Lu, where will you come from? So they think all over the world. So they see the Asian girl face, talk about different things. So they should. So this is a Taiwan. It's a very tiny state, but those Mexican people might not have enough information. They don't know about Taiwan, so or they find out the Taiwan, they feel very excited. So you come from so far away to help us. So it's to extend the world information. So the next one is Sister Lu's experience. How in the front line of those interview or news thing. So we don't want to make that very scary or talk about politics. So we want to share with the good news, and the positive energies, and the informative news. So you can see the Daai news is very different from other news stations. So so most impressive news is the Fuxing airplane crashing. So there are a lot of funeral service when they go there to help the victims. So they say the Daai news is so different from other news. You are not just take the news and go away. You want to understand and from the victims' viewpoints to understand the situation, not just go away. So the Daai news reporter very different. So they will care the victims' families, and not just a family, because we can just refer to another volunteer to follow up. So this is very important for the funeral service people. Yes. So Sister, do you feel it's very good feedback? So that's the whole team is very young and beautiful, very cute. First, Sister Lu stayed like a long time after graduation from college. So from different phases, writer, reporters, to anchors, for several years. So the whole team give them a lot of opportunity and learn a lot of things in the news TV, not only the news expertise, but also how to become a better people, to understand the other people's need and viewpoint. So it's not sharp try to get the news done only and hurt other people. So we need to be careful, don't get their hurting people or their pain. Is not a very good reporter. So after like 50 years, when you finish your task and you review, am I doing those really bad news, really based on people's pain? She don't want to do that. So it's a good growth for her. And then just become a better people. So right now she's a little bit senior, but she can share a lot of experience with the younger team. So for the next generation reporters, they can know a lot of experience from her. She think, yeah, she can keep this belief, and that's the topic, yeah, to know people. So welcome to see the Daai News. So you guys can see the Daai News. There's the English version of the Daai News, so you can try to find in the YouTube. So right now there's a souvenir from Meiyun's sister. So right now I try to show, like, want to share those. But this is a mango. This is not orange, so it's hard to separate that half and half by hand. So from the front line reporter, you can see, yeah, you will cherish the Daai News a lot. So in a portion, in fact, for people to people, you just need to stay. So it's like a family. So you can see the feedback from the Canada. Yeah, so it's the anchor is so beautiful and a lot of good energy. Right, so also Brother Jay have a feedback, like those the bus, the traveling bus, and the Baxian theme park also refresh the people, and they want to provide a real-time feedback. So everyone, yeah, just write what you think and give the guests some feedback, just pass some good energies. Yeah, so the feedback is the kids need to be careful when you go to play. Take care of yourself, but remain safety. Don't let your parents feel nervous for you. So Ming said, yeah, except this portion, we have the family all over the world, so it's important to share your opinions. So previously, you just see Sister Lu in the news reporting, but right now you can see the Sister Lu come here to share her experience. So that's why you understand, when you see the Daai News, you did not see a lot of those scary or sad things in Daai News. So it's very important, like Sister Lu to share her experience. Yeah, so previous think, wow, why I did not make it good, but right now you think, yeah, much better, yeah, to do that thoroughly. So you can see the flyer, you can see the Sister Lu to share the belief. So it's another anchor, Chen Zhuqi, to share a different topic, the initial mindset. So we already prepared like next 3 months for 2021. So Chen Zhuqi will talk about, yeah, to live a medical service with the love. So you can see right now it's a Tima, the mid-autumn thing, the October 1st, we'll have the gathering of a Tima for medical team. So welcome to share those informations. So from the online, so we'll see the Tima's gathering. So about the medical service, you will see the Daai TV start 22 years. So she Chen Zhuqi's sister. So she will be here. So the people know like when Sister Chen Zhuqi is be an anchor to do the news.
欢迎继续回到慈济与您健康有约。在今天节目下半阶段，我们为您邀请到的是慈济医院内科的主治医师
healthy program and talk about 慈济 medical hospitals. So still young.
因为他烧伤没有好处理的关系，早期没有得到一个。
So it's a 坚守性 present.
长久以后就变成疤痕，疤痕。
So visiting the patients.
他就没有办法走路，用爬的，爬的就会在地上磨。
Yeah, so Daai TV just keep all their young records.
我不想有没有记错，这个个案应该是在越南。是好，我
So this case is in Vietnam.
就发现我们很多的医护部分就成为主持人啊，这个部分，而且其实我们在开播 Coin 的一个节目哈，那现在就一直，那总共这样子有关医疗的节目，我们其实有到22年来其实有8个哈，所以良医的使命是守护生命，人文的使命是守护慧命哈，所以我们非常感恩今天我们有大爱的人文，也有台中慈院的医疗这个部分哈，所以主席就说。如果要大家对于我们良医这个部分
So it's highly appreciated. We have the Daai's the good culture and those medical service. So if you search for the keywords, then you can see the YouTube. Yeah. You try to become a human doctor. So this is a story. Like in why we choose a Mid-Autumn Festival is because of the Philippine. So the Philippine thing is hard. Like during this area, there's a typhoon or a lot of things, but they persist to keep this date, the Mid-Autumn Festival, to come back to Taiwan to visit Master. So because of the COVID-19, it's very difficult. But this will be the remote meeting to talk about what's good or what's wrong. So the host will be Jian Shouxin President, Ye Tianhao Doctor, and Huang Sixian, our international volunteer leader. So this is the 顺口溜 for the last one. So talk about the Indonesia, the Daai education. And last time they talk about the Chinese medicine and combined with the Western medical service. And Hu Wei to go to the prison to transfer the love. And Shanghai entrepreneurs and promoting the vegetarian meals. And He Zongrong is talking about the martial art and
著名是爱高雄读书会，感恩，这是他写的哈。谢谢北京的周蕊欣，然后接下来呢，我们美国的顺口溜团队有5位，这一次轮到的是我们的美国的罗德州岛的秀玲师姐，所以要邀约大家用快节奏的方式，把她写的7页来念过，来回顾一下上周我们有哪些上线跟来的一个讲师，一起来 call out 印尼、杨美，
这是 call out for the last time. Indonesia 杨美。
辅导关怀社区型
The school of 慈济。So it's a medical division.
点亮新灯谢灵玉，虎尾团队爱相随，竹筒铺爱吴林珍，金藏演艺吴美华，静思茶会柳慧荣，妈妈大爱古梅江，佛华鼓励林淑静，宽心陪伴张树秀，
Well, to Shanghai volunteer in one, she shared how entrepreneurs in Shanghai fundraise to buy antibiotic prevention supplies and distribute to supplies to hospital and doctors of staff safe. So medical volunteers shared their stories of being a medical volunteer. Sister Yiyun Lu has a strong faith in serving in hospital no matter how many challenges she faces.
好，我们一次爱的鼓励给所有顺口溜团队，爱的鼓励，贝贝来。顺口溜团队，你们好棒！
Good job, team. No matter where you are, whether you have to write in Chinese, I also have to translate in English. So, good job. Thank you so much for all the hard work. Now we can see Chongqing. The two volunteers from Chongqing wrote our feedback. So he thinks that from the study group that we get a lot of positive energies. So it really helps. So last time when we had sharing was about a walk into the prisoner and to care for those people and to redirect them to integrate to our society. And that is something very, very meaningful. So for Mrs. Sister Zhu, she gets recharged when every time she participate in the study group. She also talk about the team to walk into the prisoner. So when we see like people's misfortune, we need to give them more positive energy to everybody to integrate back to society. So now we see the team from our Chongqing. So this is a flood in Sichuan province. So many people were dispatched to help with the flood. So that news has helped the study group a lot. This is Leshan city, and where the this is the first time where the flood actually reached the Buddha's feet. So there are hundreds of volunteers who just came together to put down all the sandbags to block the water. So let us see how Tzu Ji report the news in this kind of like accident. So we can see that in when it comes to big disaster, like there are a lot of relief work has to be done. So right now so they're reporting how the dam in the Changjiang River has released a record amount of water. Even if it's just like 1 minute of the news reporting, they still have to work really hard to bring the correct news and then a positive news to you guys. So they made a video for what's going on in Sichuan from July 4th to July 20th. So that's 7 distributions for 1,005 households. So they were in Sichuan province and Chongqing city and also in Guizhou province. So this is the video chat from Sichuan to Hualien headquarters. Master Chen Yan is very touched that the her disciples work really hard to bring aid and to bring relief to the people who really need help. And then So she's saying that we're all families. We can give whatever we have to help each other. She said that, Master says that after assessment, like they immediately started distribution. So they did 7 distribution, but they still continue to do the assessment because the disaster area is very wide and very spread out. And the kid has stayed there for 4 days because where he lived, the house collapsed. And a lot of victims are really, really sad because they lost their houses, they don't know where they're going, so they can't even eat. And then city volunteers continue to do assessment even though they cannot see the end of the disasters. So, but they still carry on and move forward, and then to help anybody they can. The people who help them, no matter walk through the water, rowing a boat, climbing mountain, walk a very long way. City volunteer were never stop assessment. She's like, no matter how difficult it is, we will walk the path. So that's welcome our Chongqing volunteers. Go on for immediate blessings. So thank you for your positive energies. And welcome our Chongqing brothers and sisters. Yeah, try to.
我们听不到你的声音，这边确定 OK 吗？来，请你打开。霍华师姐，您的麦克风，您那边的是不是没有开麦克风
So they might not turn on.
你们没有开麦克风，对不对？右下角，电脑的右下角，请开启。好，我们还是听不到您的声音哈。好，您试试看。然后，因为已经一群人在那边等待了，希望能够顺利。嘿，你关到你的，对，你的电脑不小心关到你的声音了啦。你要
We're
打
trying to
开，
solve some
我们才能听
technical
到你的声音。
difficulties.
确定我们这里 OK 吗？找江主任。是。
Oh, now we have voice audios.
可以
Yes, we can hear them.
可以的。好 ，OK。然后富华，您稍微在后面一点讲。好，您开始。然后您稍微退后，可以了。感恩哦。好，那现在我们开始听你们说了。
Right, nice wave to our volunteers in China.
挥挥手，来欢迎他们。
In gratitude, thank you,
富华，您说感恩。
dear masters, Abba masters, volunteers. How are you doing? Send blessing to you for the Mid-Autumn Festival. Her Dharma name is Min Yong. So this disaster has caused a lot of problem and a lot of people being worried. Our master is very worried too. So she participated all 7 assessments and distribution. So they have witnessed flood, landslide, devastating damages. We are so small compared to the natural world. When flood came, the flood took away everything. Like every household has become like they left nothing left for them. So every village that the flood had affected, a lot of roads are destroyed. And they took away not just the houses, that took away the farm, and took away the crop that about to harvest, and also took away all their cattle. So in 30 minutes, because the landscape had changed so much, so 26 households were buried by the landslide. So when you see when you see all the like little white dots from the mud, those are the houses. So there was like a grandma like that, because she lived there for all her life, but she just can't bear to see how all of a sudden they just lost everything, and they had to literally like piggyback her like to also. So now this is a list that shows how much stuff that was distributed as immediate relief. And so there are a lot of miracle. It's like a lot of household has their house being that completely destroyed, but the crop is not untouched, which is a really big blessing. And so she thinks that it's in the natural world is trying to teach us a crucial lesson to really respect the natural world. And then she think that well, it was difficult for them to actually prepare all the supplies. So they noticed like there are 24 villages that has a lot of devastating damages. So they actually prepare enough, like a lot of like rescuing supplies like paracord, rain boots, flashlights, for them to actually to save people from in like emergency situations. So the emergency management officers in the village were really shocked at how far they actually plan for the villagers. And then those are the supplies that they really need the most, but they never even thought about it. And then, so when they received those supplies, they had a lot of tears in their eyes. So what I did is, whenever time they talk to the villagers, so they lowered themselves to kneel down, and then to be at eye level, and then just to really take care of them. And then that gesture has shown so much strong like positive effect, and then the people really feel like they've been taken in as their families. So they purposely hold on to all those villagers' hands, and then to hold their shoulders, and then just to let them know that no matter what happens, we'll always walk together. We'll always help each other out. And the villagers were really sad. And then took out her cell phone and then to share like what happened to her, and then she showed them like what she have lost, and then when she received a letter from Master Chen Yan, and then she said that that's the best gift that she ever got, because this gave her power and this is something that she just needed. So they won't miss any family. They will try to give to everybody. So it was really hot, about like a 40-degree Celsius, and then they all of a sudden realized that they have like 3 people, like 3 households short. So she also is experiencing a little bit high blood pressure itself on that day, but they couldn't bear to have the household like not receiving their aid, so they still went to the bank anyway. So those 3 households are actually very difficult, but initially they weren't given the aid was because they somehow they already receiving certain government program, but since they're so devastated, and then the volunteer decided still went ahead to help them out, and to them to the villagers they just feel like they was very touched, because they were so worried what's gonna happen, and then they say there's some of the villagers like, because the flood went so fast and they got so afraid that they don't have the courage to buy a new bed, so they use bricks and wooden board just to build a temporary bed, and then just so sometimes they can just they don't have to lose that again. So those elders, like there are a lot of elders in the village who are really devastated because their houses are gone, and their children are like outside, like they can't come back, and they really don't know what they do. And then so what City Volunteer did is to make sure that if they can calm their heart, and then understand that there are always people be there for them. So they think this is very this is very meaningful for them, and then they also never forgot to promote vegetarianism, even though they have faced so many obstacles, so many difficulties. So yeah, sorry we have to cut it short, but because we spent some time for the type issues, but yeah.
我们在这边也响起很热烈的掌声，在给你们。
We heard
你们所有的感受，我们全都听到
all
了
the
哈。
suffering that you experience, and we send you the blessings, and together we can make this world a better place. In gratitude, thank you. It's so happy to see you guys. Bye.
感恩你们，再次拜拜，再见。好，那非常感恩的同时，我先回馈一下哈，就是我们
quick
这
feedback.
里我们是 YT 平台。
So Sister Aiju is writing some feedbacks.
好不好？因为是中英文哈，大学教授老师，所以一定是可以的哈。他说 ，Always looking forward to this online studies group meeting. Best wishes to all 持续 family members. 所以也同时在这边呢，
we send our blessing to everyone.
所有的人，并且呢，对于我们高
hopefully
雄线上读书会永远呢都是有这样的一个期待的哈。好，那我们的 Angel Tian 女生 Good day, choose one and all. Looking forward to yet another section of great sharing and learning experience. 哈，谢谢对线上读书会这样的一个祝福哈。那
So now,
今天呢，接下来的
here
时间每一
is
次呢，
the
我
fun
们的
part.
活动团队呢，
And
其实都有
this
不同的一个展示哈。
team
那这个活
is
动团队呢，今天在这边的时候要让大家
going to show you something different.
因为呢，大家先看我的简报。
So in
简报里面
2019, September 14, so they went to Hangzhou, China for a humanistic culture
在中
exchange.
秋节在杭州过，对我们5个人，包括雪玉。
So there's a lot of participants.
然后我们就是到那边，那本来呢是连续假日，杭州的家人就跟我们讲说，他们连续假日人都不在了，那我们就说没关系啦，去多少人算多少人。
So it was long holiday,
连续假日，所以您
and
来自呢，包括我们呢。
so they have a lot of people who come from different places, not just Hangzhou. So Suzhou, Shandong Province, Anhui Province, Shanghai, Yiwu in Zhejiang, Jiangxi Province, also Shaoxing Province, Shaoxing City in Hangzhou, Zhejiang Province, Wuhan. So I have a lot of people came over together. So now they are going to bring you a exercise routine, so you can just follow the movement, and yes, I will just give you some reminder. So please stand up slowly. So be careful. So like make sure you leave like couple room between you and the person next to you. So that's it's a Chinese song about Autumn Festival, I think. So yeah, so just like I just move with her.
微笑请给我来，开腿，开腿，来一个，好，我们准备换个方向来，你们的右边，嘿，往前来，再走一个。
So if you're interested, that this is actually something came from the Taiwanese Aborigine group culture, kind of. So it's a little bit modernized, but it's just very unique to Taiwan's Aborigines. So it's talking about how beautiful the scenery is, the beautiful waterfalls, and the mountain is so green, and then they can see the stars at night. So in the dark, like the song is also saying that in the darkness, stars and the moons are always there to shine light, so for everyone to see. You know, like it's kind of like representing that, you know, just like no matter how difficult time might be, we always like be there to help each other out and to also take care of each other. Tap on your left hand. All right, get ready for the next song.
好，非常的感恩哈，你们还是在这边呗。好，大家呢这样跳起
So
来，为什么今天
why do we have such a special
为什么今天特别用这样的一个声音档哈？
special like numbers?
大家知道
This is also a 自己 song.
片天的僵尸帮是我们金色歌
So this is supposed to be the time that we all go back home to be united with our families.
时间点上呢，来，好，那请呢拿举牌的人也一起来哈。他们第一次拿举牌，其中有一个师兄完全呢就是沉浸在那边，然后楚楚的正在那边。对。
So they're holding a lot of like 6 moons,
出现的月亮，而且
and 6 is good number, means good fortune.
主场的家人，你们手上没有月亮吗？那
So since they couldn't prepare moon cake, so they have the tzuji crackers for everyone, just to symbolize it's a reunion. So now they are about to bring a number.
是。好的，老师可以了。好，再来这首是。
So probably the song's title is the moonlight in the city. So maybe you can just grab a ball like looking kind of objects to follow the instructor's movement, and you don't have to stand up. You don't have to stand up. I'm just do some hand movement will be fine. If you can, try to sing along with it. Alright, now you have to stand up. The songs talk about that sending blessing to a loved one who cannot be reunited in the holidays. So we wish the moonlight will shine on kind of like on his dreams, to bring some blessing and to being warm to my loved ones, the loved one's heart. Let us rejoice for the day that we will reunite again. So yeah, it's a blessing to everyone. Hopefully you can be with your families.
So this mid-autumn season is really a time where we appreciate and think of our family. So hopefully all of us can relish these little very precious Chinese festivals and take some time to be with our family or do the part of our family if we happen to be at different parts of the country or of the world.
好，感恩，你们先不要下去哦，要你们下去
So
好，那
wish everyone have a good winter festivals or mid-autumn
来，我们靠
festivals.
近一点，然后也请后面的灯举高，然后大家请坐下哦，哈。好，你们6个还真的不要靠得太紧，因为我要请他们出来，所以你们可以一样排后面2排，好不好？来 ，OK， 大家一定会觉得，我们活动团队其实很有想法的。在上个星期的时候，我就跟他讲，今天中秋节，好，所以明天中秋节能不能就是我们配合这个部分？那平常我们都是跳。
So like today's autumn festival, mid-autumn festival. So like yesterday, like Sister Mary just requests to to just bring out the different numbers. They usually have a routine to remind people how to wash their hands. So they have really good prop like symbolize. So they really put a lot of thought into this. So she's asking him to raise the plate a little bit higher. So.
对，好，那就是他们说，那上面要写什么？我们就是月圆人团圆，中秋好平安，还有一个很重要，要平安。
So the three places says that is in Mid-Autumn Festival the moon's supposed to be the roundest at the fullest of the year, and so it symbolizes that we can be with a family and have some very happy moments. So in order to get this to happen, please be a vegetarian, because that will accumulate a lot of blessings. So, well, in Chinese culture, sometimes we purchase like small gifts to in this holiday for our friends and then people who want to give thanks to. So she's talking about how the Jinsi Cafe has prepared some gift boxes for people to purchase. So one of the one of the superintendent said that when his wife was after surgery, she was eating some of the healthy products. I don't know what I call actually. So those products and actually will help her on speedy recovery. And because this is all natural ingredients, no processed food, and it was also grown organically, so it's really easy for the body to absorb. So if you're in Taiwan, you can stop by the Jinsi Cafe to check out. So, but unfortunately, the 6 moons that we brought today are not for sale. So she just realized the moon has an exit.
那接下来讲是初级的时候，我们看到我们简报画面上出现了台中慈院分方信。您先不要那么急出来。他为什么
？Okay, thanks, Brother Yang. I will take over for this next section. My name is PJ. I'm from Northern California. So the next sections will be more on the medicines sharing by Dr. Qiu Guoliang. He's from Taichung Tzu Hospital.
好，在这个部分里面呢，我其实第一次在自工展会去听到有关于洗肺这个问题。
So he is the Dean's Office of Medical Secretary and internal organs expert.
这是肺泡蛋白质沉着症，发生原因不明，有可能是体质或是感染。
The group study is reviewing is a case study at Taichung Hospital.
蛋白质堆积久了，造成肺泡换气，呼吸的功能减弱，像是肺淹水一样。透过洗肺技术，将生理食盐水灌进肺部，把蛋白质清洗干净。
You can see from the news that they try to clean the lung of the patient, and the process took 5 hours and 17 times of the 13 kg of the bio water.
13公升的生理食盐水，把患者左肺清洗干净，休养2个月，预计11月份再。
It's also kind of eyes opening for me how the lung can be clean. And now you can see on the news the cost of those lung cleaning actually due to the pollution. So we'll talk more about the air pollution later. Lung cancer becomes the top of the top 10 cancers that cause death to the Taiwan's people.
好，所以你看看就是在肺癌的时候，其实它是 No.1 的。所以在今天里面，可是呢，我们的 cancer 的一些家人呢，有些人呢。
This is one of the patients that the doctor predict will be passed away within a year, but after the treatment from the Dr. Qiu, it lived for another 9 years and still under treatment. So you can amazing how good is Dr. Qiu on the lung cancer treatments.
所以呢，到现在你看，他精神各方面都觉得自己不错，因为他开始加入了中西合疗。所以中西合疗
After 10 years, the patient is still alive.
共处第10年，生命韧力现奇迹哈。所以呢，我们可以知道，台中慈院也是有中西合疗这一个部分哈。所以我们看到病人这样子1年的一个。存活，但是到现在10年的一个时间，仍然健康的活着的时候，其实彼此都是非常非常的一个感恩跟感恩。
So not only in the hospital, right? Our team from Taichung also went to the house of patients and celebrate a Mooncake Festival, and you can see how the patients and the doctor relationship in Tzu Hospital. And they actually go to the patient house and bring them to the hospital to do treatment. I don't think you will see this kind of action in others place. Tzu Hospital has a very good patients and doctor relationship, especially built from the great love. Yeah, the lung ventilator. And not a lot of hospital has this treatment. And Taichung Tzu Hospital is one of the pioneer on this one. Curing the patient will be the top priority, regardless how expensive of those equipment. That's one of the policy or what we direction of Tzu Hospital. Right? And we want the best for our patients. Pulmonary rehabilitation room. That's what the official name called. Explain English, you can call it a lung recovery room, but official name is a pulmonary rehabilitation. The patient has increased because of the well known by publics of Dr. Qiu expertise on the lung treatment. Let's welcome Dr. Qiu Guoliang from Taichung Tzu Hospital.
一般呢，就是人家只要一讲，然后马上会冲出来。对，当然我们比较不一样，因为我们稍微要介绍一下哈，所以我们非常感恩，就是四大志业里面还有包括我们很多的慈济志工，就透过
Dr. Qiu has a PhD and medical doctor double degree, and also a chairman of Taiwan's Pulmonary Association.
在这个部分，他就跟我讲说，其实什么头衔都不是最重要，重要他的一个最长久的就叫做邱医师。可是我对邱医师其实印象最深刻的就是台中慈院我们的院长带着你们，然后跟上人在视讯。
美英老师 talking about Taichung Hospital has online session with Master Chen Yan, and Dr. Qiu is an MC. And conduct the whole session so well. And let's give another pause to the Dr. Qiu. The next sharing more on the save the lung and care for your health. A little love turn into great love. So how we, through saving the lungs, and manifest the great love in Tzu Hospital.
早上我刚踏到高雄车站的时候，我手机就响起一个讯息，这个讯息是我远在加拿大多伦多的好朋友就传了今天读书会的海报给我，他就告诉我。知道今天我要来这边跟大家分享所以我们多伦多这个丽华师姐我们这边早安哈。那同时还有一个惊喜刚刚在高雄车站碰到了另外一个老朋友。
Dr. Qiu met one of the patients at the bus stop on the way coming to the Kaohsiung study group. So he also so surprised how this study group is well known by the public.
很神奇的力量，真的把大家聚在一起真的非常感恩今天有这个机会来这边跟大家分享那今天
There's a multi disciplines divisions of the lung treatments. So Dr. Qiu will only share one of the.
跟大家比较切身关系的，先跟大家来分享一下那其实我们来看一下我们的简报里面有一些照片，先让大家分享看一下。
You can see from the picture.
我自己也有很大的感触了这个感触
This is one of the places in Taiwan. 台中。
不晓得大家有没有人对这个照片有熟悉？它的地点在哪里那应该这个是台中。
This is at Highway 74.
会知道 那这个角度是在台中一个很重要的外环道，是74号道路上面。那有一次我坐车经过那边看到这个风景很漂亮。那在远处的背景的山脚下，就是我们台中慈院的。
Yeah, you can see the air pollution.
照片稍微模糊一点，看不清楚可是
it actually from the same place.
大家看得出来
You cannot see the mountain and the clouds are gone.
地点照的照片，大家看到那个路的路景、路灯是一模一样，刚好在另外一个
You compare side by side.
的地方碰到的是这样子的天空。
Is it the
如
fault?
果把两张照片对比一下，大家心里面
Oh, air pollution. Same sky but different scenes.
同样的一片的土地，
This brings us to the well-known how we measure the air pollution, right? The PM 2.5. I think most of people know this PM 2.5 or PM 10 in US or in the world. Yeah, it actually measures how small the particles. 2.5 is 2.5 microns. Micron is one out of the millions meter. So more specific, 2.5 micron meter.
小于跟它的1/10更小，所以那是非常非常小的颗粒，你眼睛看不到，那但是你每天呼吸就会呼吸到里面去。那这些就是
From the picture, this is actually coming from air pollution and particulate matter, proteins in the air.
这些悬浮的颗粒其实有1/3是来自于一些这个空气污染、工业污染等等。那有
73% is actually coming from the wind that blow from outside of Taiwan. This is contribute the 73%, and the rest actually is local pollution. Yeah. Knowing the deadly air, right? Taipei air pollution is ranked 15th, not from the top, from the bottom in the world. And the air pollution can cause diabetes, dementia, premature birth, infant development, and definitely cause terrible lung cancer. Right? Lung cancer is the top of the first place. There's no symptom, no pain, or no sign. When you find it, it's already in the last stage. So how we heal a serious illness with the sharp and mindful heart. 慈济 Hospital is among hospitals in Taipei that provide humanitarian treatment, not only with the good equipment, but with the humans and the touching cases. So below is a case number 1, 70-year-old lady, healthy, no smoking. She has a health check in 2013, and they found a lung nodulus, but there's no symptom, no bad habit. But the lady not coming to the hospital, the one come to the hospital for 2 years, and after that it caused a lung cancer. It becomes a leg. Early symptom, but become a leg. And the second case is 65 years old man with heart disease and difficult breathing, and lung cancer stage number 4. You can see very serious challenge with the multiple methods. So we have hospital has a lot of new method right now: targeted drugs, local surgery, radiation therapy, chemotherapy. So you can see how improvement with the different methods. If you come to see the doctor, don't afraid of the treatment. That's a learning from the Dr. Qiu. The third case is 66-year-old lady, cough for several weeks and lung cancer stage 3B. And after targeted drug, initial diagnostics, and more than 4 years of chemotherapy, and we see some effective. So targeted drugs is actually is one of a very good method right now. The fourth case is 70 years old lady, initially coughing for weeks, and then they found out she actually has a stage B lung cancer. So, but because of complicated, we cannot do any operations. But after some immunity treatments, look like the patient has a very good, effective treatment at this time. Yeah, these few cases actually give us some advice. Come to see the doctor if you have abnormality of some treatments that need to be carried on. So the next case is 60-year-old lady, healthy, no smoking, have health check. There's no bad habit, no family history, no symptom. But because she lived overseas, and the family doctor said that it's not a big deal. It's actually our volunteer, and Dr. Qiu asked her to come back to Taiwan and confirm this is the first stage of lung cancer. So you can see how well expertise about the Taichung Hospital regarding the lung cancer treatments. How to protect ourselves in the face of air pollution? We actually can do something to improve our air, like take more public transportations, keep the room clean, stay home when the air quality is poor, try to avoid going out, and use a purifier, and more regular health check. Consult a doctor if you have symptoms, get treatment earlier. And Dr. Qiu always take public transportations for his commutes. Actually, those small actions can have a big contribute to the good air quality. And environmental protection, right? Reduce burning paper, money, and health check is very important. From those cases shared previously, actually, if they can come to see or do a health check earlier, actually can have a better treatment. If you have a history of the family member have lung cancer, you should do more frequent health check. And CT scan is one of the methods we use for the health check, especially for those small nodules that even cannot seen by the or discovered by the normal doctor. As a Qi doctor, we are not only doing those professional treatment, we also comforting the pain with the warm love.
踏入到这个世界，见证到各个不同的角落，他们的人生，他们遭遇的状况，甚至我们可以去抚慰他们。
There's one case, 30-year-old male patient in a wheelchair and come to the clinic. And he looked young. Why he's on the wheelchair? Right? Actually,
看起来年轻，怎么会坐轮椅？他说他这个没有力气，走路就会很喘，甚至他很不敢睡觉。我以为他当时候来看我是因为睡眠呼吸中止症哈。也跟大家稍微广告一下哈。刚刚这个美云老师有提到我们肺复原。
And not only a pulmonary treatment, our sleeping treatment also one of the top. This young guy looked so sleepy. Why he afraid to go to sleep? Oh, actually, he has a respiratory failure a few years ago, and he often feel fast, short, and urinary incontinence when at midnight. That's why he always afraid to sleep. And after doing the X-ray examination, patient respiratory function actually only about 70% left of normal person. That's the reason why she have a problem on the respiratory during at midnight. And the real story is he has a muscular dystrophy, which means it's one type of muscular disease, and it's coming from the inherit from the mother to sons. And he already onset or has a disease almost like since he was 10 and progressively causing the muscle atrophy. So eventually become the paralyzed and would die of the respiratory failure without the treatment.
中间有一条绿色线上上下下，那有一条红色的虚线，红色那条绿色线代表它的氧气浓度。好，那红色的线是90%，是一个最低标准。好，低于这个低标就缺氧。
So these two graphs show you how the respiratory failure during sleeping that night. So there's a need to wear what we call respiratory equipment during the sleeping. Is this will cause any to his next generations about this disease? So Tzu Hospital calling what we call multiple group of expertise to review how discussion is going on for the genetics issue.
因为这个爸爸在住院，小孩妈妈也没办法分身照顾，就带着在身边。我们的护理师就很担心说，那小朋友那时候大概5岁左右没办法上幼稚园，没办法上学怎么办？教育怎么办？特别带了童书陪伴。
And you can see how the whole family is on the one room. And after the curing, there's one poem reading by his sons and her wife, sleep at spring without knowing dawn, smelling birds everywhere. It's really reflects what's the condition right now for these young fathers, and his wife sent a gratitude letter to hospital, and it's so nice to have you, so happy, so grateful to have Dr. Qiu and the team. You are a team of angel full of love and passion.
甚至到后来，他太太跟他先生讨论一下，说万一哪一天真的他的疾病越来越退化，真的哪一天他真的要
，and he also signed as a body and organ donation if he pass away sometimes, and so that's another story about a free clinic in Philippines. So there's a one typhoon at Philippines during 2013. Although the road was abandoned, but you still can see a rightness and humanitarians by the volunteer and reach out of the Bodhisattva and the willingness of giving. So we can see the suffering of the people actually reflect back to ourselves how gratitude we are. The ladies that wear white shirt is actually a Tima volunteer at Tzu Chi Hospital, Tzu Chi Filipino. And those free clinic teams actually pay her to join the group, but she refused, but somehow joined Tzu Chi free clinic. So the action actually touched Dr. Qiu a lot, and the action reflects how Tzu Chi touching those public in the Philippines. So there's a ladies that wear a purple shirt. When she heard about Tzu Chi team going to the free clinics, and actually she was from the local, and she really can't refuse to join Tzu Chi teams, and even those people coming from Taiwan, but she's from the local, and the action really touched Dr. Qiu a lot. In 2015, there's an earthquake in Nepal. Dr. Qiu also joined the relief team. And you can see the birds were fly away during the earthquake. Dr. Qiu tried to point out the picture, but it was not clear. And you can see the picture of the shot and the death, and how our team doctor tried to comfort them. Yeah, everyone can feel the shock. She cries because she cries because she's so worried about, is there any second earthquake coming and will hurt her child.
隔一天的时候，我们在那个义诊今天应该没有把那个照片放到这里，我就突然间看到一个熟悉的面孔，就是他。他当时是笑脸，欢欢喜喜的，带着先生2个小孩一起来看诊。那我看到他，发现原来当天在他担心的那个小孩就陪伴。
The next day, this lady come to see Tzu doctors and with the family, and she so comforts about what Tzu is doing over there. You can see on the picture our volunteer bow 90 degrees to send gratitude and let the victim feel so warm. Not only during the treatment, actually, we comfort the heart and calm the mind. Not only take care the physical body, we can see how Tzu volunteer calm the mind and start to see the smiling face of the victims. And see the hope of the future. That's how Tzu brings the hope. At the time, actually, is a three in one Buddha days celebrated by the Tzu. So we also doing the Buddha bathing and pray for the passing one and relieve the pain by the doctor. So beside the Nepal, we also went to Laos. So combined by 4 Tzu hospital and 9 team of volunteers provide a free clinic at Laos.
那我们在尼泊尔正在义诊将近1个礼拜时间，我们要准备要离开要交接了。在离开的当天前一天晚上风雨交加，大风大雨，我们隔天很担心帐篷被吹坏掉了。确实帐篷东倒西歪，但是我们一早到达在我们的这个义诊的这个区域的时候，后面的帐篷是我们的义诊的区域的这个救灾的帐篷，看到左边。
So before the team left, there's one victim that actually is hold the tents, for our medical teams. So you can feel how warm actually coming from the victims. Not only we provide help to them, but actually they paid forward and taking care the tent for our medical teams. So these small girls pick a small flower and give it to Dr. Qiu. And Dr. Qiu is so touched about this a little girl. A small flower reflects very deep, touching. And you can feel how deep she inspired Dr. Qiu. And that's so amazing love that given by the Chiji for the many countries that we share just now. It's a very good story by Dr. Qiu. Thank you.
子方跑到哪里去了？好，那其实我们无论在第一个主题，或者是呢，就是小爱画大爱这个部分，我们其实他
Yeah, you can feel Dr. Qiu tears now many times during the sharing. A little love turned into great love.
我们的慈济的医王真的是很不一样，无论是记者也好，再麻烦思轩再一次出来，在这边好不好？就是无论是我们的医王也好，或者是我们的
and together with our TV host and also Dr. we can reach out to many countries and provide not only medical treatments, but we actually bring love to those that are suffering.
下个星期他们即将上线，由苏金国老师。那苏金国老师是谁？他其实就是比较熟悉，就是缅甸语很多人就是要翻译，对不对？但他是负责翻译的这一位苏金国老师。那苏金国老师呢，他即将上线，而我们的
May teachers share about teacher Su that coming to our Kaohsiung study group and teacher Su actually wrote a book about our Tzu relief at Laos.
可是我们拉一下就会有吉祥如意出现哈。好，这是您的吉祥如意。好，这边是您的平安喜乐。因为刚才我们后来突然发现说，应该在我们的柚子上面的，然后我就请他赶快来写一写，所以马上做这样的一个祝福哈。所以真的非常的感动，我们这么多的人。
And now is the sections 美云老师 read out all those comments at YouTube or the Facebook Live.
那重庆的志工都是上人的好弟子。那长春的刘春枝就说，高雄线上读书会慈济家人陈祥瑞慈悲济世入人群，菩萨路上开智慧哈。那泰国的慈官就说，每一次听到大陆家人的一个分享都非常的感动。那更确信上人说的要怎么样？要非常的菩萨大招生哈。那 F 就是高雄 online study truly American full of love， 就是在这边呢，就是感
Thank you, Dr. Qiu.
保有这样的一个能量。那其实有用英文来赞美你的，我等一下再说哈。我们一并用掌声再次感恩我们的邱医师。
I'll pass it to Brother Yang. Thank you so much.
OK， 那接下来就是我们最后一个单元了哈。来，我们今天志工笔记说法传法这一个部分，
I'll take over.
在这个画面上，我们先看到哈，我们还是鼓励大家10月1号、10月3号的时候呢，能跟着我们的人医做这个不一样。然后我们看到画面简报画面上
On October 1st and October 13th, we have environmental protection events. So they are so they're selling this thing that relates to environmental protection. And well, okay, anyway, today is the last weekend of the September. So this is Guoliang Qiu. So she wants to share about her experience with the National Kaohsiung University of Applied Science, have brought a group of college students to Kaohsiung's Jinsi. So they are so the students are very impressed by the Daai technology are able to turn a lot of recyclables into like high-tech products. So last year in this time, if you remember, the cyclone Idai ravaged East Africa. So in a way to nurture their good nature, so they talk to them about the disaster and they encourage those students to really see suffering and sow their own blessing. So those students they encourage the student to respond to the call to transform lives and creating blessings in East Africa, and they also talk to them about the bone marrow registry and how important that is. So surprisingly, a few days later, five students came back to register as one of the donors. As the donors. So there's one student shared that he or she has been in Kaohsiung for 3 years for school, but they never stepped foot in Tzu Chi. He was very blessed that he feels very blessed that he has the opportunity to get to know Tzu Chi and then to see how Tzu Chi changed people's life. So Mr. Guo brought 29 students to Kaohsiung Jinsi. So last June. So it's really hot in Kaohsiung at the time. So in order to teach students about reducing carbon emissions, they walk and use MRT the whole way. So they were worried about, well, they kind of worry about the students' reaction because the weather just really hard to bear. But the students are very accommodating, and they understand that it is important to cut down carbon emissions. So the students were actually really happy about it. And they also invite a doctor who just came back from the medical mission to Mozambique, and they were looking. So doctor was sharing about the trip. So the student were looking at learning how devastated Africa is, and when they go back, they actually fundraise among themselves for about 3,000 Taiwan dollars, and their teacher will kind of just round up the numbers so to make it whole. And so Master was like, so she was referring to Master said that cotton is really it's really good to absorb water, but it has to be close to water. So to encourage us to bring like Dharma to the people around us, because Dharma has always be water is always used to symbolize Dharma, because to wash away our afflictions. So to model after this Bodhisattva is that we don't let go any chances to expand Dharma and to help to share our lives with other people. So this is Sister Yang Shuhui. So Kaohsiung Jingsihou was certified for teaching about climate change to the public. So she got, she wrote the proposal for the project and also the teaching materials, like the whole planning, everything. So she felt really proud, but she also suffered a lot. So they got like over 10 group of people to write the proposal, and then to how to create a better teaching the learning experience. So she said that she's thinking out of a box. So she doesn't start from the beginning, but she start writing from the end, so have everything backward. And because her idea was so refresh, and then there were only 3 got picked, so she's one of them. And then when everything submitted to the Environmental Protection Bureau in Kaohsiung, all of a sudden, the target audience has changed. Originally, they were supposed to targeting 1st or 2nd grade kids. All of a sudden, she has to adjust the whole proposal to fit 5th and 6th graders. So she's like, all of a sudden, like her whole proposal become too easy, and then it doesn't have in depth because for the bigger kids. So she got lazy, and she only changed the part of the proposal says that the target audience is to 5th to 6th grade, but she didn't change any of the other content. And so she was thinking like, maybe I can get away with this. And the other advisors to her like didn't really catch, like she only did so little change. So for all these times, like everything seems fine, and then so the proposal has been submitted, and then everything seems to be very like smooth, and there are other proposals being rejected, but her proposal was fine. And well, because her proposal was approved somehow, and the Environment Protection Bureau invite a lot of professionals come to critique the proposal. So she was like, well, then you know what happened. So there are 3 different proposals. So the other 2 got 2 points to correct. Hers got 14, and then she was like, she's like, every professional like I representative being like saying like, okay, so this proposal need to make a lot of corrections to update the information that she referred to, and then so she feels so ashamed. But her advisor was like helping her like, well, don't worry about it, because all these professionals are really professionalized in the topic of climate change. So it is easy to see that they will be very critical, and then they can always point out the faults. But Sister Yang saying that, okay, only I know it's my fault. So whatever we do, we have to give our heart into it, and then don't think that when you can just cheat your way through it. That's what she learned from it.
弘扬中门。那同时间呢，大家在直播画面上应该有看到，我们利用这一段的一个时间哈，说法传法的时候，就是无非就是
This is one of the time that we wanted to invite people to come to Kaohsiung Jinsi Hall to see that there's a different education programs. There are a lot of things that you can a lot of activities you can do and to experience a lot of things. And this is a place that we really proud to use to promote and then to talk about the Jinsi Dharma lineage and also showcase the City School of Buddhism. So that's actually standing in the front that the group of people who train and specialize in talking about the Jinsi Dharma lineage and also to really have the public and to everybody to be aware of what City School Buddhism is doing. So we really need to get on the spirit to that people to understand the Jinsi Dharma lineage. So for us to make sure that the City School Buddhism will plan a very deep root and have solid foundations. So we're very appreciated for the team for their hard work. So we have a lot of feedbacks, and even for Dr. Qiu's so wait, this is Nantou. So they have built a little transformer like kind of a vehicle that can go around the community to literally to educate people about environmental protections. So they're also now they have a lot of different products and then to some natural whole like good food like to help you to get through life. Ooh, they have the Chinese medicine flavor of the Jingsi noodle, like the instant noodle. That's one of the best flavor. Like you gotta try it. Like that's not so. So this is the spirit of the team. So everything we met like happened to us is a good blessing. And basically saying that be happy with life and then to have courage and take on all the challenges. So in October 7 we'll have volunteers from Myanmar. So next week we have director Chen Zhian. She is the doctor who shot a documentary Walking Dharma, and that was a documentary that documented Tzuji's volunteers case management journey. So it's a really very interesting documentary. So Sister Luo Meizhu, she did a lot of like international disaster relief, and also Brother Xiao, he is the vice chairman of Daai TV. I think that's the title. So he also will share. He's a really great guy, and so encourage you to come. So we have a lot like good people. Okay, in late October, the brother, one of the volunteers will share about parenting stories. So that's talk about how to deal with children in the time of digital world. So every Wednesday in Taiwan, at 9 o'clock in the morning, so we will have a meet together. So we really appreciate everybody to join us. And she's about to read a feedback. So TIMA's International Disaster Relief Team are not just bring medical aid, but they are really body, mind, and soul healers. So they can use like one flower and then to really touch your heart, and then there's a bunch of bodily pain. All right, that part. So he wrote a poem to praise Dr. Qiu and about how he walked on this bodhisattva path, and then to be really diligent, and then to give all his heart to take care of people's mindset and to make sure people are calm and then feel like happiness when they're being helped. So like the doctors like use public transportation to go to work, and then if you meet someone who always asks them questions about being a doctor or like some medical medical questions, like he always answers for them. So yeah.
世轩，然后用英文的部分，然后去讲到也有这边是怎样很赞叹我，希望提醒我赶快下课，对不对？
from西安。
西安的于建龙说月亮很圆很亮，乡村饼干很赞，人圆月圆是圆。
So he was praising the activities that it's a Mid-Autumn Festival in which everybody will have a good blessing time with their families. So this is the first time that we ever heard this new medical term about our lung, which, sorry, I don't know the personal term, but it's some direct translation is like lung on the recovery process.
Sorry， 我等一下再找，我有看到，但是我最后讲这个。Yes, let us spread 实际 great love to every corners of the world, direct from the Kaohsiung online study. Almost gratitude to the team who prepared today's program. 所以希望从我们这里，然后到世界各个角落，都能够去感受到这样子的一个爱好，然后透过读书会，我等一下再找出来给你。他真的有人写一段是有关于给思轩的英文，真是的，要划一划时间。
So we're about to.
那现在呢，我们
So she's still looking. So she couldn't find the feedback for one to share, but it was really good. So everybody, please rise. Put your palms together. Bow to Buddha Master. One bow. Second bow. Third bow. So let's wave goodbye to 老师。结束了。